Beautiful. Oh, shoot. I forgot.
Your brooch.
Oh, crap.
Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Listen, guys. I don't know if you've heard of us before, but we're on the dock.
I'm Amarilys.
And I'm Misty.
It's good to be here.
It's good to be here.
It's been a minute since we were able to.
It has been a minute.
It took us a while to really process Gwen Shamblin.
Girl.
And for you guys to process Gwen
And
Shamblin.
can I just say thank you so much for all of the outpouring of love and affection to us.
Yes. Thank you.
We are just beyond
We can't even believe it.
excited.
We can't even believe it.
We were like, what in the world? I mean, literally, our audience has grown.
Like a lot.
What is past quadruple?
Quintuple. We're not math people.
That's why we're together.
We're not math people.
That's right.
Yeah. No, we're so grateful. It has been a fun 3 or 4 weeks since last we
And
talked.
y'all, the reviews, like, we wake up in the morning and we're like,
who are these people?
they
We're not
like
even.
us. They really like us.
Okay, now don't jinx it.
I know. Well,
Don't jinx it.
listen, we got brought down a notch this morning.
We did get.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you.
big
We're gonna
notch.
do a little housekeeping, Amarilys,
Yep.
and this part of our show is just called "I'm sorry."
It's going to be a real long part.
It's gonna be a real long part. So let me tell you something. One of the reasons that I love documentaries so much is because I think the people that allow camera crews to come into their lives and but the reason that I love documentaries is because I think the people that do them and let people come into their lives and let me come into your lives and watch it, I think are amazingly brave to do that. I mean, I don't know that I would have the courage. I mean, this right here, this little tiny part, letting people in, is scary.
Yeah.
Like, it's scary because guess what? You open yourself up to everybody.
Yep.
People saying you're great. People saying, what the crap do you think you're doing?
Right.
People saying, you look like you have a chicken neck on this video because that's what it looks like. And like I said, listen, when I point a finger at you, I've got 1, 2, 3 pointing back at me. I've got a joint disorder. So that's one reason they're pointing this way. But another reason is because, I mean, I laugh at myself all the time. I'm stupid.
Yeah.
And, like, ridiculous. Yeah. Please, look at us.
Yes,
like,
look at
we're
us.
ridiculous. We are, and they should be lower because like, we're ridiculous. And so, to the gentleman who said FUBs. You're rude.
God loves you.
I agree. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm all about some constructive criticism. But
It wasn't exactly
please
constructive.
know that we think you're amazing for opening up your life to everybody. I'm totally, like, in awe of your family and what they've accomplished. And please just stay where you live, and I'm going to stay where I live. That's all I got to say. But seriously, like,
Leave us alone.
please don't hurt us. We're just having fun. Okay. And I had to take an extra anxiety pill this morning.
Did you really?
I did.
Tell the truth. You did? Misty.
I watched a lot of 2020.
I would let that be a lesson to me to never let you know anything.
I know,
Negative.
Amarilys, I would be in such bliss if you would just send me the good ones. I've been so happy. And then you send that, and I'm like, well,
We have to quit.
now we gotta quit.
We're announcing our retirement.
We've become international stars, and here's what
Look
we
at
do.
us. How are we not international
Look,
superstars?
let's go ahead and just start talking about what's really important. And that's today's episode is on Grey Gardens.
Tea for two.
Tea for two. Now listen.
Okay.
Can you sing something with the word love in it?
Love?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember something that she sang, and I can't remember anything that she sang.
Well, it wasn't correct. Whatever it was.
Love.
Where are you from? It's love, not love. Y'all, this is, if you love a good mother-daughter duo, this is the ultimate, right?
The ultimate. And yes.
Now listen, Grey Gardens is one of my all-time favorite documentaries, and really one of the documentaries that got me started with my love affair of documentaries. Now listen, I'm dressed as Big Edie, which her name is Edith Bouvier Beale.
Right.
And I'm the mother. And listen, Edith normally likes to go pure naked.
She's naked all the time.
With a towel and some type of a red lipstick. But I've got to go to a doctor's appointment, so I can't be looking
Cannot do that.
Like a working.
Certainly not red.
Well, and you don't wear red in the afternoon or unless you're a working woman.
Okay, duly noted.
Working woman, okay?
Duly noted.
So I decided this was really the best costume for the day because she does love a large hat, okay? And I wish a cat would jump up here because she's always
down here. Yeah,
she's always got a cat in her lap. One will be up here shortly.
Yeah, there
Hey,
it is.
Come here,
Look,
come here.
it gets behind the green screen.
And they do. Look. One of my favorite moments is when she says, "That cat has gone behind my portrait and is using the bathroom." And little Edie says, "Well, that's terrible.
Okay.
Nobody moves the cat."
Let's tell these. Let's go back. So Edith and Edie are mother-daughter, and they are in Grey Gardens because Mom, Edith, Big Edie, is so stubborn. She doesn't want to sell the house. She doesn't want anybody to help her. This is her home, and she doesn't want to leave. And she has guilted and has made her daughter feel responsible for taking care of her. And she has, all her dreams are out the window. She never got married. She never went to New York City to chase her singing dreams and acting dreams. And she's super bitter, but she loves her mother.
Right.
And you know what? It makes me, I really enjoyed watching this because I can't remember what the documentary was that we talked about, the mother-daughter relationship, but like I have a great relationship with my mother. I have two sisters. The three of us love our mom. We love to take care of her. She's in a stage of life where we need to drive her places, and sometimes we don't like for her to stay by herself. And it's like, for us, it's never we can't do anything. It's never we feel like our lives are stuck. We love helping our mom.
Yeah.
It makes me so sad because like I don't feel, and when she and my dad when we were younger and they were raising us, they empowered us to do what we wanted to do. We went to college. But that's not what happened with this family.
No.
They empowered the boys.
Right.
And the girl never ended up getting married. She couldn't find somebody that. It just makes me sad. Like I think about my own relationship with my parents and my mom, especially just because of this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it makes me really sad. It makes me really sad that they didn't experience that.
Yeah. So the opening of this documentary is in East Hampton, which is a beautiful, very upscale mansions, beaches,
High dollar.
high dollar stuff. Okay. And then in the midst of all this beauty, you have this dilapidated mansion that can only be described as a haunted house.
It looks like a haunted house.
It looks like a haunted house. Yeah. And the Beales are all about staying in this house, saving this house. This is their home. This is what their life revolves around. But little Edie is real upset because they like to raid them. Okay, East Hampton likes to come in and be like, clean you up, okay? And so when you first come in, you see the house and you see the inside, and there's a large hole in the wall, and Big Edie is feeding a couple of raccoons, okay, with a loaf of bread. And it shoots and shows you all of these news articles.
I mean, if you have raccoons in your house, you should feed them, right?
Well, I mean, they've become part of the family.
They're part of the family, yeah.
So they flash on these news articles. I'm going to read you just a little bit, just to give you a visual of what we're working with here. So it says that Jacqueline Bouvier Kennedy Onassis' aunt and cousin on Long Island are living in a garbage-ridden, filthy 28-room house with 8 cats, fleas, cobwebs, and no running waters. Conditions are so unsanitary that the Suffolk County Health Department has offered them to clean up or face eviction. Okay, so they're trying to get them out. And let me tell you how the Bouviers respond. Okay. They're not like, we are so embarrassed, like we don't have the money or we can't help
The
it.
Beales.
What did I say?
The Bouviers.
Well, they're
the
bad.
Beales. Well,
The original Bouviers,
Yeah.
now the Beales.
what if you were talking about Jackie Bouvier?
Oh, yeah.
You mean the Beales.
The Beales.
The Edith Beale.
Edie, big and little Edie, this is how they respond. They don't say, oh my gosh, we're so embarrassed, like
Right.
we just don't have the funds, nothing. So Miss Beale called the inspection a raid engineered by the henchmen of a mean, nasty Republican town. And it is the most disgusting, atrocious thing that ever happened in America. Ever.
So there's a civil rights movement, the civil rights things that happened.
But them
That
trying to
wasn't
get them
terrible.
clean that house up
Yeah,
is
that was not terrible.
the
Let's
worst
see.
thing that happened to
There's
America.
I mean, I can think of any number of tragedies, but this is
Yes, very
this
much.
is the worst thing that has happened. They make me want to clean my house.
Yeah, it makes
Can you imagine? Like I love to watch.
hoarders.
Oh, hoarders, definitely. That's not where I'm going. But I love to watch The Real Housewives of New York.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't actually watch it last season, but I've watched it every year.
Mm-hmm.
And one of their big things is almost all of them has a home in the Hamptons.
Oh, okay.
And they'll always have an episode or two where they're out in the Hamptons. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just, you don't have a house in the Hamptons without having a couple dollars in the bank. Okay.
Yeah.
These homes they're not houses. I mean, they're
mansions.
estates.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're estates.
I mean, they have names.
Yes.
The
yes,
houses have names.
Yes. And so I try to think to myself, what must it have been like for these neighbors that have dropped, in modern day money, $10 million on their home. Mm-hmm. And then you look next door and you see great gardens.
Talking about hurting your property value. I mean, these people are in the news.
Yes.
But what is so funny to me and like what drew me in immediately is they give zero about it.
They don't care.
They don't care. And in their mind, like the way that they've lived their life, so society and
Yeah, they're still part of that.
they still feel very much a part of that. And all of a sudden, these things that you can only imagine would have been like horrible back when they were very upscale, they've just grown to be a part of life.
Yeah.
you know?
It's just how it is.
Like, it's just how it is.
Like, they don't even. So they have all these cats, and they'll go up into that one scene where Edie goes up into the attic, and she just pours an entire bag of cat food
On top of a loaf of bread.
on the floor.
Yeah, she takes a loaf of bread, pours it out onto the floor, and then an entire box of cat food. Now, she's carrying on just a conversation like she's gone in and washed a dish.
Like, I've got an errand to do. Let me run up to that attic where
Yeah.
there's raccoons and cats.
Hey, let me fill out this bill real quick. It's
Yeah,
what it's like. And she was like,
But she pours the whole bag on the floor.
she says,
She's like, "It's a cat."
and she says, it gets terribly lonely here. I mean, I'm just mad about raccoons and cats, but at some point you just want some human interaction. Imagine you've gotten to the point to where a raccoon is the same as a cat.
It's the same as a cat.
I see now we have a couple of raccoons that anytime we have pizza in our garbage can
Oh,
have
really?
like a pizza party
Oh,
outside
really?
in our driveway. And they have thumbs. Like
They have opposable thumbs.
they can like grab you and pick stuff up.
Yeah.
Like, and they have rabies.
Yeah.
And they're like these. I don't know how they've not been eaten in their sleep.
Right.
Like,
Right. And also the house
literally.
is flea infested.
It's flea infested, and you have to imagine. Now, this right here looks like the best day of their life.
Yeah.
When they show you pictures of Big Edie, now she stays mostly in the bed.
Yeah.
Okay, she's real tired. But imagine I'm Edie. Okay. Imagine me in the bed. Now, on top of me are about 15 newspapers full of cat droppings and debris and dirt and several cats laid up on top of her, and then maybe like a can of liver pate.
Liver pate. It's delicious.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
And a couple of cartons of ice cream and my hot plate where I have made the world's best
Corn on the cob.
corn on the
So in this room, this is not the real room, but honestly, it looks a lot like it.
It
looks
really
like,
does.
So because there's 2 twin beds in there, and that's where they sleep. They have this 28-room mansion, and this is where they sleep.
Yeah, like they don't use any other room in the house.
No.
And let me tell
Where
you.
do they use the bathroom? I mean, do they have running water for the bathroom after it got renovated?
I don't know if maybe they now have, because she said, remember she put that note in the door and said, I'm in the bath.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So at some point, Jacqueline Kennedy, who is the niece/cousin of the Beales, she and Lee Radziwill, who was her sister, came in and updated the mansion so they wouldn't get evicted. So I guess they
I'm
put
sure
running water in there, I guess.
Well, I'm sure she was mortified.
Mortified.
Yeah. And so now you have to understand, like, she didn't come in and do like a home makeover. Like, they literally just made it livable. And cleaned it up a little bit.
There are still enormous holes in the walls.
Oh, there's huge
There's
holes.
a flea infestation, which, hey, by the way, 20s and 20s of listeners, I need some help. I, for about 2 weeks, have had a fruit fly infestation in my house. Have you ever had one of those?
Oh, yeah, I can tell you how to get rid of it.
I cannot get rid of it.
Apple cider vinegar.
I've done it.
No, you haven't done it right. Apple cider vinegar with a little bit of water and like 3 drops of Dawn dish detergent.
I've done it.
Really?
It captured a bunch of them.
Uh-huh.
It did. But I still have some that are running around. I guess maybe I need to do it again.
You need to do several of them.
Okay.
Like, you have to have several of them.
Oh my gosh, it is such a nightmare. They're all over. Like, I can't.
I mean, I can't imagine, like you said, those fruit flies drive you crazy.
They drive me crazy. But if you have
fleas and raccoons,
yeah,
I can't.
no.
Now,
But it's normal for them. Like when those filmmakers are in there, they don't say, "Oh, excuse the cat." Oh, excuse the raccoon.
nothing.
They don't
Girl,
say that.
they had a birthday party for Edith, and little Edie is like, "Hey, before you sit on that chair, let me put down a piece of newspaper."
They had 2 guests, and they had to like put
They
newspaper
had to
down.
put newspaper down on the chairs,
Yeah.
so they could actually sit down.
Yeah.
And I was like, "You wouldn't catch me eating in there."
You will not catch me eating there.
I mean, but now let me tell you, explain to them a little bit about, now that I've explained Big Edie, who, number one, should have been a professional singer. Okay, y'all.
That's how she sings.
That's how she sings. Should have been a professional singer. She had money growing up, and when she got married and was very well taken care of, husband got kind of done with her and moved on, but gave her...
Also, we didn't talk about one of the reasons he left was because Big Edie had a boyfriend.
Well, now, she had an accompanist.
Accompanist. An accompanist.
She had an accompanist. How do you say it?
Accompanist.
She had an accompanist.
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 Yes.
Send your emails to onthedoc.com. I don't know what that is. But anyway, he just played music for her. And
Is that a euphemism?
And he was brilliant at it. One of the most
I love it when my husband plays music for me, too.
The most brilliant man she's ever come across in her life.
Including?
He recorded 7 albums at once.
At one time? Okay, so I would imagine Mr. Beale had enough of the singing, enough of the spending my money, and enough of Mr. whatever his name was, Mr. Accompaniment.
Yeah, I mean, her younger life was basically the help takes care of the children. Yeah. I spend time with my
accompanist.
That one. And I sing horribly to his music.
Correct.
Record myself.
Records, yeah, she has
make
recordings.
albums. And just spend the day with him. And Mr. Beale was like, I'm kind of sick of this.
I'm out.
But you can have this house. Yeah. And you can have these kids.
And a trust.
And I'm going to go live in the city with my secretary. Mm-hmm. And y'all have fun with that.
I'm kind of team Mr. Beale.
He's looking better and better. I'm not going to lie to you. Because he did try to get Edie to work.
He did, and he tried to get her to get married.
And she just was not having it.
So what we're dealing with, I think, is...
Well, tell them...
Oh, sorry.
Explain to them a little bit about little Edie and her personality and just the sense that you got when you met her.
Well, she's eccentric.
Very.
She's very eccentric. So when we first meet her, she's got a like her head is completely covered. We find out later she's got alopecia. She has no hair. She was very eccentric. When we first meet her, she's wearing this thing on her head. She's also wearing a skirt she's turned upside down. So the waist is at her legs, and the open part she somehow is able to. She says you can wear it like a cape too.
Yes.
You can.
And she calls them costumes. She's like,
oh yes, this is our best.
Really the best costume for the day. Yeah. And she would use things like cardigans. I saw a couple of sheer numbers. She gets sexy sometimes. Yeah. A couple of sheer numbers.
She liked her bathing suit a lot.
She loved her bathing suit. She was always in her bathing suit. Yeah. And she's never been married.
Never married.
But according to her, she's had plenty of proposals.
Yeah, she's had 4
But
proposals?
Big Edie will run them away in about 15 minutes. It's all Mother's fault.
But I can see that.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
I can, but at some point... But then, like, when she talks about other things... So they have this, like... He can't be over 16 or 17. He's on a bike. Jerry.
16, yeah.
Jerry's like their... handyman.
Yeah.
And so he runs groceries for them. He does little things all around the house. And little Edie is convinced that Jerry wants her. Okay? And she'll be like, well, here's Jerry again. He's brought a washing machine, so that seals the deal. He's going to be moving in with us pretty soon. And all he wants is me. And Big Edie's like, he does not want you. You're an old lady.
Okay, but he does move in with them at some point.
But he's homeless.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I did some background checks on him, and he came from an abusive home, and he was homeless.
So he found mom and grandma and Edith.
Yeah,
and Edie.
he kind of found like these ladies that needed his help, and he could have a home. But in Edie's mind, every man wants her.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, they want all of this.
All of her. I mean, if you saw the costumes and the sheer numbers that she
my favorite was when she came out in that red bodysuit. Do you remember that? It was a red bodysuit. But
red from head to toe.
From head to toe.
Monochromatic.
Okay, I grew up in a bicultural home. And when I was little, there was this show on Spanish television. It's called El Chapulín Colorado. Okay? That means the red grasshopper. El Chapulín Colorado. El Chapulín Colorado wears the exact same bodysuit.
Really?
I will post a picture on our Facebook page.
My favorite are her patent leather white high heels.
With her black stockings. Yes.
That she's obviously had since she was 15 years old.
Couple holes.
Because I saw pictures of her wearing the same exact white heels modeling. Yeah. Now, they share a bunch of pictures with you. These were really beautiful women back in the day. Yeah. Like, beautiful.
Well, even now, Edie was not an unattractive lady. She was very beautiful.
She held up pretty good.
56. She was 56 during the movie.
Yeah, she looked great for 56, I felt like. Especially...
That her body was amazing.
Especially given her surroundings and what she was living in. But... that's when I started to feel sad for them, was when I saw, like when they were feeding the raccoons bread and, like, letting the cats all have kittens behind stuff and pee on it.
Yeah, they're just asking for somebody to come.
They were asking for somebody to, like, judge them. But then when I saw the pictures, I was like, wow, this was a really beautiful girl. I bet she did have some prospects.
Yeah, oh, yeah. When they took out all that memorabilia, I just noticed Edie is a bitter lady because of her situation. Right. And her mother's forever calling her. If Edie walks out that door, Edie! I mean, she's always called. She can't do a dang thing.
All she wants to do is sunbathe and swim in the ocean.
Yes.
And Big Edie will not let her do it.
It's really sad. Like, I really, this is sort of like when we did The Whites or when we did Mommy, Dead and Dearest. I guess it's what makes a good story, right? The crazy makes a good story. Yeah. But why do we have the crazy? Why is there a crazy? And it's because, I mean, we're dealing with some mental illness with these people, too. Yeah, they've got
some mental illness. And plus, like, anytime little Edie tries to say, like, we're not in a good situation, like, this is awful, then Big Edie will immediately say, well, any place would be much worse.
Yes, she gaslights her.
Yeah, any place would be much worse. And she said, little Edie says at one point, I just want to be free. I just wish I could be free. And big Edie says, you can't be free when you're being supported. And then this is where I was like, okay, little Edie, you're kind of putting a little bit of this on yourself. Little Edie responds, I think you can't be free unless you're being supported. And I was like,
Okay.
I can relate a little bit. It is kind of freeing not having to pay your own bills and have to take care of a house.
guess,
I mean,
yeah.
So she's used to being kept.
Yeah.
And she was raised to be kept.
Yeah.
But in
So
the end,
it was cultural for them.
Right.
That money, that type of aristocracy almost.
right.
And the time.
Yeah.
You don't go to school and get a job like you would right now.
Right,
You know? And
right.
when you've got money, even less.
Yeah. And then anytime Edie, like, you can tell a little bit that she's her mode of survival is to build herself up. So that's why she's kind of like, I've had all these proposals,
Yeah.
men want me. Because anytime she says anything remotely positive about herself, then she's got big Edie who says things like, you don't have a husband or any babies. Can you imagine?
I think she's abusive.
And then
I said it.
This is what I love
I
about.
think she's abusive.
She is abusive. This is what I love about little Edie. She comes back with the best comebacks. Now, like, if somebody came up to me and was like, well, you're miserable because you can't get a husband or have any babies, I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, that would make me feel terrible. Little Edie responds, well, I like wearing girdles.
Okay, now, Misty, we got to work on that for you because you can't feel bad. You've got to fight back.
I know.
Do you know what? Last week, this is a really terrible thing to say. Last week, my 6-year-old comes home and she says, Mommy, I'm going to make up the name because I don't want them to know who it is.
Oh, no.
Let's see. I don't know. Sally. Sally is being so mean to me on the bus. And I said, well, or she said, Sally told me that I was not good at drawing.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh my gosh, why would she say that? You know, I was trying to, did you do something to make her mad? No, I didn't do anything. And I said, Nova, let me tell you what to do. I said, the next time she says that to you, you say, Sally, you know what you're really good at? Really good at being ugly. And she did. She did. So you need to fight back. We're
Now me as a person, now, like, if you came at me with that,
oh, you would be down for the fight.
I would rip you apart. But it's like when your mom says that.
Oh, sure.
Like,
why would your mom?
Why would your mom say that about you? And then Big Edie will say these things to little Edie. And then she'll say things like, I've written these down because they're so good. Was I a good mother? And then she'll say, I was crazy about my sons. Absolutely mad about them. Nothing about little Edie, who's given her life up to take care of her.
Yeah.
Mad about her sons. They were perfect.
Crazy.
I loved them. I really was a good mother,
You can
she'll say.
see the hurt in Edie, too. Like, they'll pan over to her. Because these Maisel brothers who are doing this movie, they're onto this.
Yeah.
They know that every word that Big Edie says is like a knife into little Edie.
Yeah.
And it's really sad. Like, I ended up, at the end of this movie, I was really sad.
Yeah.
Like, it was not a feel-good, it's all fun and games until somebody really gets hurt.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, when you're watching it, look, there are parts that you're like, it's so ridiculous that you can't help but laugh.
Yep.
But then by the end of it, and you see how this woman who was this beautiful, attractive girl who was well educated.
Yeah.
I mean, she went to college. She worked in New York for a while. But she just kind of became a victim, I think, there too. So at one point, Edie gets an internship in New York with her father, and she's working in is it a law office? I think it's some type of an office in New York City, and of course, in the back of her mind, she only wants to be a star because that's what her mother's raised her to think is the epitome of success. Yeah. You either have to be a professional singer or a dancer, and according to Big Edie, little Edie can't sing. So, but she does have a mean soft
pot, meat kettle.
A mean. But she does have a mean soft shoe, okay?
Indeed.
And she can wave an American flag like nobody's business.
Like nobody's business.
You will get to see a little bit of little Edie's dancing, and it's phenomenal. This is the part when she calls down the airplanes.
Right.
And she goes to New York. She has her dad's kind of set her up to have something of a successful career, but in the back of her mind, she's got to be a star. And she says this man discovers her, which is a big time producer. What was his name?
I don't remember his name.
Anyway,
Max
Gordon.
Gordon.
She meets Max Gordon, who was responsible for discovering Billie Holiday.
Yep.
And she says, well, he says I was funnier than Billie Holiday. I was going to be
She thinks she's more talented than
She's
Billie
more
Holiday.
talented than Billie Holiday. I mean, look, I've said it once. I'll say it again. I'm more talented than Madonna. Okay.
Well, I would not doubt that.
So, whatever. Anyway, I could have been a star if it wasn't for Philip holding me back.
Listen, it's Philip's fault.
It's his fault.
This is our chance.
And these children.
This right
this
here,
is what's
this is our
going to get us
chance.
on the map.
Yes.
So, anyway, she is like, I met Max Gordon. He was going to make me a star, and then you made me come back here and take care of you.
Yes.
Because your eyes went bad. You had to have eye surgery. And Big Edie says, that married man was never going to make you a star. He was just using you, and that was never going to work out. And so then you start to realize, okay, Edie kind of falls victim to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because that sounds about
She
right.
has some stunted development.
She does.
She has some stunted emotional
Yeah.
development because of her mom.
Because look, Edie can move around real good for a 54-year-old, but I'm not going to say she should have been a professional dancer.
Correct. Yeah.
She's got some skewed vision
Yeah.
when it comes to how talented.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they both do. How talented
Yeah.
they are. But she comes back to take care of Edie, and so it's kind of like one of those things where you go, okay, did you go back because that is what happened and you were so devastated by it that you just had to leave the city? Or is it you felt guilty and you came back for your mother?
Yeah.
Or is it you were raised to think that a man's going to take care of me, I don't need a job anyway?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a combination
Yeah.
of all of that.
Chicken
I
or
think.
egg. Yeah. It's really sad. It's really, really sad.
It is sad.
And listen, I don't know if I said this earlier. It's a really hard movie to watch. First of all, it's 1975. Okay, so it's 40 years old. 40
it's about
plus
this
years
kind
old.
of film quality.
Huh?
It's
It's about as good.
film
It's
quality.
about as good as what you're watching right now. Do you think they were confusing people because we didn't tell anybody? We're videotaping ourselves today.
Oh, yeah.
We're videotaping ourselves today.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want you guys to think this is what we look like. Okay, we are very attractive.
We're very attractive women.
We're very attractive.
This chicken neck is not even real.
It is not.
This is
No, this double chin.
this is a trick
strictly
of the video.
for the camera.
That's right.
Strictly for
This
the
is
camera.
just for this filming.
Yeah. We're very attractive.
Very attractive
Yeah.
women.
So I need for you to kind of look past that, right? But we wanted to give you an idea, in case you didn't want to watch Grey Gardens.
What you might
Yeah.
be.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't want
Accustomed
people to
to.
get confused because a lot of people will just listen to us, but we wanted to put something up
And
on
now
YouTube.
listen, if you've got kids in the room, Big Edie's boobs do fall out at one point. So you're gonna need to watch out for that.
Yeah.
She's naked a lot.
She's neck. Well, I mean, she's
And
not.
Big, did you hear little Edie? She said, "Mother, you need to put some clothes on." And she said, "What? I don't have any warts. I don't have any warts on me." As if warts are the only thing she needs to worry about. No, she's got bat wing flaps out to here.
Yes.
Her boobs have fallen out.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a 90-year-old woman. She's got a little sagging of the skin. She's worried about a wart.
Yeah, she does not care for clothes.
She's another one that her vision is skewed.
Yes,
when it
she
comes
does not
to
care
her.
for clothes. But so what I was saying is, it's a hard movie to kind of even get started on because it's from 1975. It's not like the documentaries that we watch now because you are making your own conclusion about what you're watching. You're not being told how the story goes.
Right.
So it's
And there's not really a plot.
No, it's just observational. These two brothers came in and they just videoed. So it was going to be a video about the Bouviers and the Radzawills, who are Jackie Kennedy's family.
Right.
And then when the brothers met these two, they were
They're
like,
like, forget it.
We got plenty on the Bouviers.
But let me tell you what I love about the Maisels, okay? Now, the Maisel brothers are the ones who... who do this...
The creators, yeah.
Creators of this documentary. Is, number one, like, they don't try to make this into something that it's not. Like, they don't edit and cut it.
They don't have to.
They don't have to. Like, this is its own...
Train wreck
Yeah. Right in front of you. And I think that this was like the beginning of reality TV.
It has to be, yeah.
Literally. They just went in and they were like, just be you. And they let little Edie do whatever she wanted, big Edie do whatever she wanted. And I think that's what I liked so much about it was because I'm nosy.
Yeah.
And I would love...
You're all up in their business.
I would love nothing more than to just put a camera in your house and watch you sometimes.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it's against the law. And
Yeah.
so I can't do it, but I'd love to.
Yeah.
Like, that would be my absolute favorite pastime if I would not get put in jail for it.
Yeah.
Was to be to, like, look in people's windows.
Yeah.
And so this, you really do. You get to look in there. You get to see all their trash. You get to see... And let me tell you...
and also you can't even believe what you're seeing, so it's...
Yeah.
It's like almost pretend. I mean, you can't...
And I didn't feel bad about the fact that I haven't cleaned my bedroom in a couple weeks.
Oh, look at this
I
house.
thought,
yeah.
we don't have raccoons. So the next time Philip comes
That's a
in
win.
and he's like, are you ever going to clean up your side of the room? Because his side of the room is immaculate, by the way. But I'm real creative. And when you're creative, you can't be clean and creative, okay?
Right.
And so I'm a little bit
different.
I'm a little bit messy. But
Yeah.
that's what makes it fun, just like little Edie and big Edie. And sometimes he'll be like, what I wouldn't give if you'd clean that side of your room. And then that's when I have to say, you don't have any fleas or raccoons, so
No
I think
fleas.
you're doing pretty good.
No raccoons. That's a win.
It'll make you feel good about yourself.
There are no holes. There's no holes in the walls.
It is.
And I'm not cooking corn
y-
while we sleep.
Please let me. I think I wrote something about the corn. Y'all,
So they have a hot plate. So they live in this room, okay?
it's
They
just
live
the
in this
bedroom,
room.
but it's a 28-room mansion.
They live in this one bedroom.
One
There's a
bedroom.
refrigerator full of ice cream, and they constantly eat ice cream.
Yes.
There's a refrigerator full of ice cream. There's also a hot plate where Big Edie does not get up. She just brings it over
It's right. It's within arm's reach.
with arms, and she will boil corn on the cob next to the bed.
And at one
Just like talking. She's just like
And
cleaning
there's,
the corn.
there's one scene where she's naked from here up in the bed. She's got a pot of boiling water with corn on the cob in it. Now, Jerry, the 15-year-old landscaper, is laying in the bed next to her.
Oh, yeah.
On the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
bed.
Well, it's dinner time.
And she's like, Jerry, could I offer you a piece of corn? And Jerry's like, I'd love a piece of corn. And she's like, she takes a full stick of butter out. I don't even know where it came from.
The refrigerator with...
Where did she keep the butter? It was in the bed with her. She pulled it out, and she had a full stick of butter and said, let me fix this up for you. Hands him the corn, and then it's like, David, could I offer you a piece of corn? The Maisels.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're good.
We're okay. Yeah.
Can you imagine how much cat hair?
Oh my, is this corn
is
silk or is it cat hair?
It's floating in that boiling. That's why they eat it. They don't have to realize that they're eating cat hair. They
Corn
think it's corn silk.
Corn silk or cat hair?
That's just corn
Yeah.
silk. Y'all just lay down a newspaper and lay right here next to me by the cat feces.
Corn silk is
You'll be
always
fine.
calico colored.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of it's orange or black. It doesn't. It depends on what region you've gotten the corn from. Is really what it is.
It's that gem corn, that jewel corn.
Yes, and they love a butter pecan ice cream like nobody's business.
Yeah, they do.
Let me tell you something. When you
Who
hit,
is going to get these groceries?
they're
He
getting
is.
them delivered. You not see the guy? He put them. I'm sorry. The guy that came and delivered the groceries. God love him. He looked scared. He had a box. He sat it on the porch and he ran out.
Oh, no, I missed that.
Yeah, and then Edie comes out, little Edie, and she
I do remember
grabs
that.
the box and she's like carrying it up the stairs.
It's
and
like shipped in 1975.
it was, and she's like, and Big Edie's like $174, and all we got was ice cream. I was like,
That's what you want? Yeah, that's all they do is eat
that's
ice cream.
all they do. They eat ice cream,
Corn.
liver pate.
Oh, which is probably cat food.
Y'all, it's straight up
It's
cat
straight up
food.
cat food.
Did you see her when she said...
I think it's cat food. She gave her mom
It's
cat food.
It's cat food, and she calls it liver pate.
Yeah.
The Maisels are standing there videoing, and there's one part, it's my favorite part. She takes and opens this cat food can that she calls liver pate, scoops it out, puts it on a cracker, and says, David, I've made you a cracker, and sits it on the flea-infested bed. And she's like, I'm going to lay it right here for you. And he's like, I'll get it later.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
It's cat food. It, for real,
They're
is a
eating
9
straight
lives
up-
can.
Straight up cat food.
Yeah.
And P.S., y'all are feeding raccoons. Like,
Yeah.
that's where part of your grocery budget's going.
Right, right.
In one sitting, she poured out a whole box
I know.
of kitten chow
I know.
and a full loaf of bread.
I don't understand. Yeah.
I guess when you have no people around you, because according to her, they don't get very many visitors. Can you imagine?
I can't understand
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, they've got their house kid, and then they have this.
They do have a gardener.
They have that precious gardener who's out there who she's so offensive to, by the way.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Very offensive. Obviously, this is before civil rights
Yes.
and things like
Yeah.
that. And my favorite is he is so patient and just like, he just knows.
Well, he knows these people are crazy.
They're in this. They show you the backyard, and it is covered in vines and all kind
Oh,
of.
yeah, but they think it's intentional.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, this gives us so much privacy.
They tell you that like a master horticulturist
Oh,
came in and
yes.
planted all of these bushes. So it's really terrible to cut them down. It really is.
Yeah, you can't.
You just can't do it. But literally, not one sliver of sunlight can get through. And she says to their gardener, "I really think we should make this into a vegetable garden." Groceries have gone up so much. Food is so expensive.
Yeah.
We should make. And he's like,
Yeah, sure.
"We'll look into that." Yeah. And so she said there's just a fine line between the present and the past, and she has to be real careful with how she
Yeah.
talks to him and how much she gives him access to.
Oh,
'Cause
well, of
he's-
course, he's not trustworthy.
Well, because he's a black man.
Yeah.
So,
Everybody knows, yeah.
right. And it's the 70s, and she's white, very upper class.
Oh, yes,
and
very high
You
end.
can tell they view everyone as the help.
Yes, yes.
You know?
They don't have there's no self-awareness happening at all. There's no and the truth is that gardener has really, more class and more dignity than they do.
Probably has more money than they
more
do.
money than they do. Absolutely more money. Yes.
Oh, my
yes.
gosh. Yeah.
They have zero self-awareness.
And this is probably like a charity for him. Because probably nobody else will come.
Who's paying them?
Who's paying him?
Yeah.
I mean, and she was outraged that she had to write that $24
That
check.
$24 check.
So, what do you do?
Well, there you have it. Grey Gardens.
Y'all, but can I tell you, one of the things I was very happy about, if you watch the movie. Now,
I did watch the movie.
There's a movie also. It has Drew Barrymore.
She was great.
She's amazing.
She was great.
was little Edie.
Yeah.
And in the movie, they kind of go back and show you their past and how all this came to be. So I really, if you like the documentary and you like listening to this, I recommend you watch the movie. But at the end of the movie, they kind of tell you about like where they are now or
Yeah.
whatever. Well, because of this documentary, they got to come and see the showing. Little Edie and Big Edie got to come to this like red carpet event,
Yeah.
which was all they had ever wanted. And little Edie ended up getting to have a little stint of a kind of cabaret show.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
And so she got to go back to New
Perform.
York City and perform,
Yeah.
like for a little while. Like
Yeah.
she had a little showcase. And so to me, like that was the happy ending
Yeah.
to the story was
Yeah.
she got to have like her moment in the sun. Now I'm pretty sure she went back to feeding bread and cat food to those raccoons.
Well, no, she sold the house.
Did she?
Yeah, I don't know if she sold the house before her mom died or after. I think it was after. She sold the house and said, "I'll sell it as long as you promise you're not going to tear it down." So
Right.
that was the stipulation. And so she did sell it, and she ended her end of her life was in Florida.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But so as sad as it is, is she still alive?
No. Mm-mm.
No, she
They
passed
both died,
away.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both gone.
So we won't be getting an email from them.
We were not. The Bouviers are not going to be, and the
Bouviers.
Beales are not going
And
to
let
be.
me tell you, this is fan portrayal. Anybody that's related, I love the Bouvier Beales, okay? I think they're the cat's meow. Anybody that can take remnants of clothing and turn into
Oh.
a different piece of clothing, you
Really, it's worth it watching. To me,
the fashion alone.
unbelievable.
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 And let me tell you something about little Edie Beale, is that this is a woman who, even though you can tell she's got some trauma, she's dealing with some stuff, she's going to see the bright side of life. Okay?
Yeah, that's true.
And she's going to be happy, and she's going to dance, and she's going to laugh, and she's going to make the best of it.
It's a life lesson.
It's a life lesson. I mean, even at 54, she is sitting there reading horoscopes. Where is this Libra man? I've got to find him.
Yeah.
Like, she's just enjoyable to be around.
Yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
If she was my neighbor, I'd go hang out with her.
I would too. I would not
She's
hang
pretty
out
fun.
with Edith. She seemed like a pain.
When we get together.
I can't. She'd be asking us to sing with her all the time.
Could you imagine?
All the time.
I would love it.
No.
Y'all, if you get a chance, Google up some recordings or just watch the documentary.
Just watch the documentary. Yeah.
Man.
Oh, it's streaming on. Excuse me. Pardon me. It's streaming on
HBOMax.
HBOMax, and it's also streaming just on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
It's super old, so it's not like.
And let me tell you, when you hear when you hear her singing on the documentary, you think, well, she's old. Like, she probably had a good voice. She sounds exactly
We heard it when she was young.
She sounds exactly the same.
She sounds exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And we know because we're professional singers.
Very, very good singers.
We're
I mean, you heard
very
us just
good singers.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah. We're very beautiful.
Yes,
We
yes.
obviously keep.
Just take our word for it.
We obviously keep immaculate homes.
Just take our word for it.
So we're kind of experts
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah.
But yeah. So go watch Grey Gardens. You're gonna feel great about your housekeeping.
Yes.
You're gonna feel great about your pet care.
Yes.
And look, we can't say a word. We have so many cats.
We have so many cats.
I have Amarilys has so many cats. I have one of her cats. Okay. When breeding cats are your pastime, who are you to throw stones?
That's true. That's
Okay?
true. Very true.
And I'm pretty sure that I found like a banana behind my toilet at one point. So
Look,
who am I to
we're
talk
not
about?
throwing stones
Who am I
yet.
to talk about people's housekeeping habits? Okay.
That's why I watch Hoarders, is so I feel better.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Okay, next week we're watching, or next time, we always say next week.
Next
Who knows
week.
when we'll be able to get together. We're watching the last Blockbuster.
Yes.
I'm a child of the 80s.
Me
I
too.
love me some Blockbuster. Blockbuster has a part in mine and my husband's story.
Really? And you're like getting together
Love story,
love
yep.
story? Oh.
It does. It does. So we'll be watching that and we'll be talking about it next time.
Yeah.
So it's on Netflix, I think.
Be kind, rewind.
Bye, Misty.
Listen. If you love us and if you care about us, you need to.
You think anybody cares about us?
They care enough to say F you bees. If you care that much, like and review only good stuff.
Subscribe. We're on YouTube now, so
Yeah,
subscribe.
we're on YouTube now. So
Okay,
yay.
wow, that went.
Whoa, sorry. We're on YouTube now, so
Yes.
So
This will be our first actual live action video.
I know.
Which I'm sorry, this is how you had to see us. Well,
We'll really
I
turn
have
it
really.
We
I
should
cut my
go-
hair this week. Did I tell you this?
by yourself.
By myself.
I love nothing more than a home haircut. Take those leggings off your head and
I
let's
don't
see
know.
this.
Like, hang on. I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Did you do it from a YouTube video?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! You look like a Pantene commercial.
Look.
Oh, look at those layers.
I know.
Yes, girl. Did you do this with kitchen scissors?
No, girl. I went and bought me some real scissors.
Oh, from Salad.
Ulta. Wow. Anyway, yes, I cut my hair. Because,
love
we just haven't been able to get to the salon. Sorry.
The salon.
Sorry. We are the same stylist.
Yes.
Well, you just tell her that it's okay. But
I
I promise
will.
to come back.
Do you know what she'll say? That's good. I can fix it later.
Ooh, it
'Cause
doesn't look. Sorry, folks.
When I had bangs and I would do terrible things to them, she would go, "We'll fix it.
Yeah.
It'll be okay."
It actually looks. Like,
really doesn't look-
It's flat right now because I've had the
It
leggings
really
on.
does look good.
Thank you.
Like, I think you did a good job.
Anyway,
For a home haircut?
for a home haircut, not for a real haircut.
Yeah, I like it. And for those who left reviews about our microphones,
You're right.
You're right.
You're
And
right.
We're going to be setting up a Patreon real soon.
So somebody can buy us some mics.
Or just
'cause
a
we've not made a
Venmo.
dime off this
We've
thing.
not made a dime off this. So, if y'all want to start helping us do that, that'd be great.
Look,
So Venmo us.
We will accept donations for brand new mics.
Absolutely. Donations for new mics, donations
To get my hair cut right.
to get your hair cut.
All right, I think we've overstayed our welcome here.
Okay.
All right, bye. Have a
It's
good
been
day.
fun.